Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blockbrief. This is Matthew Player. I'm going to be taking you through just the first couple of steps of using Blockbrief, how to log in, and then how to start using the Blockbrief mapping system. So the first thing you're going to do is grab the credentials that have been sent to you in the welcome email, and then you're going to go into the top right-hand corner and click Login. You're then going to enter in those credentials that you have. Click Submit, and now you're on the Blockbrief dashboard. There'll be other videos that go through each and every one of these tabs. Today we're going to focus on the mapping system and go through that with you. The first thing you want to do is go up to, so what I have done here is I've grabbed, just so we can show you how the system works in various states, I've grabbed a couple of properties that are on CoreLogic and realestate.com that are for sale, that have development potential claims. Where they are advertised currently on the market with where the real estate agent is saying that there's development potential for those sites. So these are sites that users would commonly search. And so we're just going to go through and show you how to use the system. So I've grabbed a property here from CoreLogic that's for sale, potentially a mixed use or a commercial development site in Harris Park near Parramatta. So I'm going to grab that address from CoreLogic. You could just search a general area, or you can search a specific address, which I'm doing here, and type it in the address. I'm going to select that address from the address auto correction. I'm going to click search, and it's going to take me to the mapping system. Today, I'm going to focus on the very basics of the mapping system. There are other videos, and we'll continue to make videos that go through each and every one of these various tools and various layers that you're seeing right here. But the bare minimum of what you're looking for here is you just simply zoom in, click on the property, and it's going to tell you that that particular property of 9 Park Street, Harris Park, is zoned B4 mixed use, and it tells you what that zone is. Just briefly, you can select some of the other layers just specifically for this property. Whether it's got a minimum lot size, it does not. These layers differ from state to state, as you'll see. Although the zoning layer, the zoning alerts layer, and the DA permits layer will always be there, these layers will be different because different states have different planning regimes and systems where they use different tools to control land use and density and building design. So for this pick, for New South Wales, you can actually see whether or not there is an FSR. This FSR is 4-1. 2-1 is next door, so this is 4-1. What the maximum building height is. So the maximum building height for this property is 28 meters. The heritage map, whether there are any heritage items. This particular property is not a heritage item, but there is a heritage item in the vicinity. And then other constraints. This property is identified as acid sulfate soil. So let's go back and let's pick another property from a different state. So I've also got a property here where the currently 11 to 13 Frederick Street, Doncaster in Victoria is currently, they're both for sale together as a potential development site. So we're going to search, we're just going to search because they have not been amalgamated yet, but we're just going to search that property and then look generally at both properties. I'm going to zoom in. So 13 and 11, and they're both the same zone. They are both zoned Activity Center Zone number 1. As you can see, the layers are different here. These layers are consistent across the mapping system, but the other layers are dependent on the planning system that is in place. So in Victoria, they use a constraints map system. So we're going to click on that and see what applies to this particular property. So this is in a development contributions plan overlay. This is not specific. That's an overlay that's not specific to in terms of what type of development you can put. That's more laying into the developer infrastructure levies that would be applied to any potential development of these two properties. And then you've got your bushfire mapping in this particular area being quite close, a non-rural area. It's not identified as a bushfire area. Moving on to South Australia. So this property is listed for sale. I believe it is part of a small subdivision, and it's a completely fresh lot to be developed on, from memory of reading the listing. I'm going to click on this property, and it is zoned residential RPR. Now, one thing you need to be aware of in South Australia is not only do they have the zoning layer, they have a zoning policy maps layer, which further identifies land use and density on top of the zoning system. So we're going to click on the zoning policy maps layer and see what policy map it is. And this is residential policy area A450. It's a residential zone. Let's see if the property is in a heritage area. It is not identified as a heritage item. We can see what the land use is identified for the area. It's land use specific with residential. And we can look to see if there is any bushfire, and this is not in a major bushfire area. Some of the other tools that we will go through in more detail later is just to search generally with a zone. So let's do a general search of Perth. I might maybe be a little bit more specific. South Perth in Western Australia. And zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to show you off some of the tools. As you can see, Perth, we do not have as many layers there as the other ones, just because that's the way the planning system works in Perth. You can see a building height map in particular areas. So let's go back to the zoning layer so I can go through some of the tools. So obviously you can zoom in and zoom out with the zoom in and zoom out tool. You can toggle between either a road map view or a satellite map view. So you can view it on satellite. You have a measure tool, so you can create measurements. So I'm going to create a new measurement. So, for example, with that Victorian lot, it just gives you a general idea of if you are thinking of amalgamating a site, or etc., or how big a site is. So I can use the measurement tool and get tells me hectares, square feet, feet, perimeter, and then I can also download listings within that area. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So let's just delete this tool. The next thing you can also do is you can filter zones. So if you know the specific zone that you are interested in, you can search that zone and filter those zones, and then you can download those zones. I'm trying to keep this video a little bit shorter. And then the other thing is you can actually click this toggle button, and let's zoom out a little bit more. what you can do is view properties that are on the market with development potential claims over the top of the zoning layer. So, and you can view that in a list view or a over the map. So you can select this button here to view the listings in that format. If I find a listing of particular interest. So these listings are updated weekly with the latest properties that have been listed on the market where there is a development potential claim. So you're getting access to all the development sites that are currently on the market, on top of the zoning layer. You can also download those particular listings as well. I want to keep this video short, so that was just a brief introduction to the zoning mapping system. There's far much more for you to discover, for us to demonstrate you how to get the best out of Blockbrief, not just in the mapping system, but also in the various other tabs and elements of the Blockbrief system. One thing I do want to make clear is that there has been some questions about the map search functionality. That was previously in Blockbrief. Map search has now been discontinued because it has been incorporated into the Blockbrief mapping system generally. So we don't need to duplicate the mapping system. We've put it into one system so you can see the development sites that you would usually see on map search now in the Blockbrief mapping system. We feel this is a really good, much better way of viewing these sites, given that you can see them along with all the planning controls that would apply to that development site, rather than having two different mapping systems that you have to jump in and out of. That's it from me. I will be providing more and more tutorials and videos on our YouTube account. And please look out for them. They'll also be sent to your inbox from the info@blockbrief.com account. Whenever we're sending you emails, we'll send you videos and new tutorials. I will be doing my next video on the subscribe functionality and also going through zoning changes in our zoning alert system. Thank you.